Game changer, pink lace cap hydrangea. We're going to send it to you for 3 easy payments of $11.33. Now is the time to plan your garden. We're getting ready to ship very, very soon. We'll ship it at the time that's right for you. We're close now.
First day of spring.
Yeah, it's
my
so
goodness.
exciting. Devin, what is the game changer? Why? Because you guys have so many great hydrangeas, and they all tell a different story. They all do something different. Why do we love the game changer?
Well, we love the game changer because number one, this is the most reliable blooming hydrangea that we offer for a few reasons. It is a re-blooming hydrangea, so you're going to get growth. You're going to get flowers on both the old wood and the new wood, which is fantastic. But what makes it even more special and exceptionally exquisite is that this is, I'm going to get a little bit technical, the only day neutral hydrangea on the market across the world. What does that mean? All right. Day neutral means that it doesn't need really long days of sunlight to produce these beautiful flowers.
Okay.
Most hydrangea, they're not going to produce their flowers until the middle of summertime.
Oh, right, when the days get longer.
When the days get longer. These ones are going to start to flower in the early May.
Wow.
So you're going to have your flowers earlier in the season, and they're going to continue to bloom nonstop all the way till your frost. That's why we love this game changer.
Now, I want to tell you right now, I want you to look at this plant. This is live. All the flowers are real. They're growing.
Yeah.
It's still early, right? Like, this is just getting started. I want you to look at the plants. There are buds everywhere you look on this, just more popping up. This is going to be loaded. So if you like the look of it now, like here's another bud, that's going to be a giant flower mass. If you love the look of this now, you're going to go wild for this when it's in full bloom. In fact, here's what we're shipping you.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Oh my, this is
incredible. This is what we're shipping to you.
Look at this.
And Sandra, you can notice that this is what's considered a lace cap style hydrangea. It's the only lace cap hydrangea that we offer on QVC because a lot of other lace cap hydrangeas can be a little bit finicky, but this one is so incredibly easy to grow.
I understand that this is really, you brought this because it is so reliable.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of you guys, you tell us, I didn't have flowers on my hydrangea this year. What did I do wrong? Well, you're growing the wrong plants because those hydrangeas you pick up at your garden centers or even your grocery store, they're not going to be re-blooming hydrangeas.
Hey, I've got news for you. A lot of times they put those, especially at the grocery stores, they're just there because they're blooming in the minute. And you think they look pretty, you pick them up. That doesn't mean that it's the right hydrangea to plant in your yard and garden. This is the hydrangea specifically bred to be really reliable and give you big, showy lace cap blooms. So what you're shipping here, that's a really big pot.
It's a 1 gallon pot.
We ship for free.
We're not shipping you something like this. This is a big 1 gallon pot that we're shipping to you guys. And because it is this reliable, re-blooming hydrangea, you're gonna have flowers the first year. You're gonna have flowers, if not right out of the box, like at the very beginning of summertime, and then they're going to continue to bloom all summer into fall until your frost. But then they're going to come back next year and the year after that and every single year because this is a very robust winter hardy perennial.
Wow. So this right here obviously hasn't even fully bloomed
just getting started.
So it's going to be, it's going to be more like this, which this one is still getting started. Like, look how amazing.
How beautiful.
Let's take a look at some of the images and then I have some questions for you.
Absolutely.
So
let's do it.
Where should I plant this?
So this is going to be more of a shady loving hydrangea. So under the canopy of your trees is fantastic. Where you have early morning sunlight is going to be great. And these plants, Sandra, you can tell they're kind of like a mounded form. They get about 3 feet wide and about 2 feet tall.
Okay.
And so they're a little bit wider than they are tall. So it's like if you have a sloping area, if you can maybe get 3 or 4 of them, plant them along a border, along a...
I was going to say, it's good like walkway hydrangea.
Absolutely, perfect.
Now, I'm seeing various colors here, everything from light pink here on the set to a little bit of brighter pink there. That looks a little purpley to me. Is this a hydrangea that's dependent on the soil?
Yes, it is. So the alkaline soils are going to be a nice, beautiful baby pink. And then if you have a little bit more acidic soil, it's going to take on a little bit more of those purple tones. And just look how gorgeous that is. That's probably 2 on the right and maybe like 4 on the left.
Wow.
And Sandra, you don't have flowers like that for 2 or 3 weeks like most hydrangea. We're talking 4 to 5 months of blooms like that.
And so easy. You're not out there deadheading and babying them. They just grow.
And
now, when would I prune these if I ever wanted to prune them?
So because they're going to produce growth, they're going to produce flowers on the old growth and the new growth, because they're reblooming hydrangeas, you can prune them back at any
See,
any
I love
time.
that.
Yeah, and so I was actually in my garden yesterday and I chopped mine back just a little bit. I gave just like 6 inches. They don't get super tall, so you're generally not going to need to prune them at all.
Like they're, you know, for a lot of you, when you get these home, you're going to plant them and then never
Just
do really anything with them. They're just going to bloom and look so
Look at those
beautiful.
flowers.
Wow.
So what happens is the flowers, these are the male florets. These actually start off white and then they're going to take on more pink tones as the flowers mature and age. So it'll turn from this white to a richer pink over time, which is really unique. So you have this sort of color changing energy. And where I actually am growing them at my house, I have a dawn redwood tree.
Okay.
It's this beautiful conifer. And I planted them just around the base of that tree. They get a little bit of morning sunlight and they just are absolutely so beautiful. I can see them from our little front room in our home, the windows. I look out and I can see these beautifully blooming, and it's so gorgeous because they bloom for so long.
And it's nice to have a little color, well, actually a lot of color, a lot of flower power in areas that are, you know, are kind of more of that part shade, part sun, where, you know, instead of like planting something like I love coneflowers, they like a lot of sun.
Yep.
This is something that you can have that beautiful kind of woodland garden look.
Absolutely, and a lot of us have some, you know, mature trees in our yard that produce a canopy, a shade, and this is the perfect plant to put underneath it because, Sandra, this is the only hydrangea in the world that is day length neutral. Now that's just horticultural jargon, which means that these plants are going to be blooming earlier in the season. These are going to bloom at the end of spring, and they're going to bloom all the way till your first frost, whereas most hydrangeas start blooming in the middle of summertime.
Yeah.
So you're going to get multiple months more of flowers with these,
Look
and
at
that's
what we're
why it's the
sending
game
you.
changer.
Yeah, we're
They're
shipping
so
this
gorgeous.
to you for free.
This is huge.
It's one of the largest pots I get. Well, Carolyn just did a hydrangea tree that was 3 gallons. That is very unusual. Typically, a 1-gallon pot is the largest pot that we ship. It's the largest pot we can ship, and we ship for free. So any other online retailer, if you can even find the game changer, they're not going to ship it for free. They're not going to have the easy pay. And also, we have the Gotta Grow guarantee.
Yep.
So there's a lot of reasons to buy your plants from QVC. My #1 reason is when I go to a local nursery or, you know, a big box store that pulls out plants, grocery stores that pull out plants, I sometimes don't really understand what I'm getting.
Yeah, there's no information.
Right. You guys, not only do you yourself write the growing guide, so when you get that growing guide, Devin's the one who wrote it, but you give us a very curated group of plants. There's a million hydrangeas. You bring us the ones that are the most, like this is the most reliable.
The best of the best. And, you know, you won't find this at your garden centers or your box stores. Those ones at your garden centers and box stores, they're not going to be rebloomers. They're going to give you maybe 2 weeks of flowers. And, you know, if you have a cold spring, you might lose all of your flowering potential for the entire year. Not with these guys. If you've ever had trouble getting flowers on your hydrangeas, this is the hydrangea for you. And these beautiful lace caps, they're known to be the most elegant of all hydrangea blooms. They just look like they're floating on the tops of the plants.
I think sometimes, you know, when I know you've had this experience talking to people where they say, oh, I can't grow anything I plant just dies. And I just always want to say, like, you're probably just getting the wrong plants.
Yeah, probably
This is really easy, you know, water it your first year, but really almost maintenance free. If you're just buying any plant from, you know, the local garden center because it has pretty flowers on it in the moment, you really might not know even what kind of hydrangea you're getting. They bring us the ones that are the hardest to find and the easiest to grow. It's that easiest to grow that I love.
It's so true. And, you know, hydrangeas, they look best when you grow a few of them together. So if you can, get a few of them, create a wonderful border of these hydrangeas, and you will be blessed with so many blooms for such a long time.
Now, I bet you have questions, maybe questions I did not ask him. So go on our QVC.com live stream, go to the watch party that's happening right now, or my Facebook page, because Devin is our Green Thumb guest. He will answer any, like if you have a specific question, he'll answer the question about these hydrangeas and everything else in the show.
Thank you, Sandra.
I'm always bragging about you now being a horticulturist.
It's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Accreditation.
Yeah, it's very, very